pupils! Today, I'll be helping you prepare for the UPSR examination. And I will be helping you revise for Paper 1, Section A. By the end of this video, I will be sharing with you the exam format for the UPSR English Paper 1, Section A, analysis of possible topics that might appear for Paper 1, Section A, and tips on how to score for Paper 1, Section A. Paper 1 comprises 40 multiple choice questions. The paper is divided into 5 sections. Section A, vocabulary. Section B, social expressions. Section C, grammar. Section D, text completion, and Section E, reading comprehension. Let's focus on Section A. Section A tests pupils' knowledge on vocabulary. Pupils are required to study pictures and read and understand sentences before choosing the best answer. In this section, there are 10 questions. Different questions test pupils' vocabulary knowledge at 3 different levels. Questions 1 to 4 test pupils' vocabulary knowledge at word level. Questions 5 to 7 test pupils' vocabulary knowledge at phrase level. Finally, questions 8 to 10 test pupils' vocabulary knowledge at sentence level. This section is worth 10 marks. So, let's analyze the topics which appeared in past UPSR papers. Analysis of topics. Let's analyze the topics for questions 1 to 4 first. From the table, you can see that many topics were asked ranging from animals to time. Every year, about 3 to 4 topics will be tested. The most frequently tested vocabulary was house and habitats. This topic appeared 5 times in 2007, 2009, 2010, 2012, and 2014. The second most popular topic was verbs, which appeared 4 times in 2009, 11, 12, and 13. Objects and occupations were also popular. Objects appeared in 2012, 13, and 2014. Meanwhile, occupations appeared in 2007, 8, and 2011. The rest of the topics only appeared once or twice. For questions 5 to 7, 4 types of phrases were asked. They were verb phrase, noun phrase, prepositional phrase, and adjective phrase. Verb phrases were very frequently asked. It appeared every year except in 2010. Prepositional phrases appeared 4 times in 2007, 10, 11, and 2013. Noun phrases were asked in 2008, 10, and 14. Adjective phrases were asked in 2007, 9, and 10. For questions 8 to 10, there were 5 topics: objects, places, animals, occupations, and daily activities. Objects appeared from 2010 to 2014. Animals appeared 3 times in 2007, 9, and 11. Occupations appeared in 2007, 9, and 10. Finally, daily activities appeared twice in 2008 and 2010. So for questions 1 to 4, you should pay attention to the topic house and habitats, verbs, objects, and occupations. For questions 5 to 7, you should pay attention to verb phrases and prepositional phrases. For questions 8 to 10, you should pay attention to the topics, objects, animals, and occupations. Tips for scoring in Section A. I'm going to break down the tips into 3 parts. The first part is for questions 1 to 4. Second part is for questions 5 to 7. And third part is for questions 8 to 10. How to score for questions 1 to 4. Read and understand the sentence given. First, read the sentence given and try to understand what the sentence is trying to say. you can sometimes guess the meaning because the keywords are given. For example, question 1 in 2014. The storybook that I read was very because it was full of adventures. In order to understand the sentence, you have to know what the word adventures mean. Adventure means an exciting experience. When you understand the key word, you can then use logic to think of the right answer. Use reason to find the right answer. So what does the sentence tell you if a storybook is about exciting experiences? Would you read it? I would. So if it's a book you would read, what kind of word would you use to describe it? I wouldn't want to read a boring book. So option A, boring is definitely not the answer. So between the words surprising, interesting, and creative, which one best suits the word exciting? The answer is C, interesting. Surprising means something that you wouldn't expect to happen. Creative means thinking about something in a unique way. Use your past experiences or general knowledge. Sometimes you can use your past experiences to help you answer the questions. For example, question 2 in 2014. The spots on a help it to hide in bushes. So which one of these animals has spots? I'm sure you have seen these animals on television or read a book about them. Does a monkey have spots? No, a monkey doesn't have spots. So A is definitely not the answer. What about a zebra? What do we call those patterns on a zebra? They are not spots. We call them stripes. So D is also not the answer. We are now left with giraffe and leopard. A giraffe does not have spots. It has brown patches. A spot has to be round. So the answer is B, leopard. Create your own vocabulary bank. Look at the worksheet I have given you. You can use a worksheet as a template to create your own vocabulary bank. Keep a list of words according to their categories. For example, you can list as many words you can think of under the category house and habitats, verbs, occupations, and objects. This will help you with your revision. How to score for questions 5 to 7. Read and understand the text. For these questions, a short paragraph with pictures are given. Study the text first and get a general idea of what the text is about. For example, let's study this text from 2014. This text is about a boy called Rosman who wanted to go on a hiking trip to Gunung Ledang. So, we can anticipate that the answers must be about him getting ready for the trip. Study the pictures carefully. The pictures given are there to help you. Pay close attention to the small details in the picture. Let's try and answer question 5. He quickly... The answers given are A, took his bath, B, combed his hair, C, brushed his teeth, D, washed his clothes. If you look at the picture, you would know that the answer is A, took his bath. Question 6 is slightly trickier. He packed his knapsack with his... For your information, a knapsack is another word for bag. Based on the picture, what is Rosman packing in his bag? The answer is D, clothes and equipment. Reason out the wrong answers. Use logic to weed out the wrong answers. Let's say you have no idea what the answer is. It's okay, don't panic. You can always cross out the wrong answers. Let's try out with question number 7. Then he to go to Gunung Ledang? The options given are A. Took a train, B. Boarded the bus, C. Waited for his father, D. Walked to the bus stop. Always use logic and ask yourself questions. Look at answer A and ask yourself if that's the answer. Is there a train in the picture? No, I don't see a train. So A is not the answer. Let's look at option B. Is there a bus in the picture? Yes, there is. Okay, this could be the answer. So we'll go back to it later. Let's look at option C. Waited for his father. Do you see Rosman's father in the picture? No, I don't think I see him. Let's cross out option C. What about option D? Is there a bus stop in the picture? No, there isn't. So D is not the answer. That leaves us with only one option left. So option B is the correct answer. And that's how you answer questions 5 to 7. How to score for questions 8 to 10. Study the picture carefully. For questions 8 to 10, we have to study the picture given carefully. This part can be a little tricky because you have to identify the sentence that best describes the picture. So there may be answers that are slightly similar to one another. For example, let's look at question 8 in 2014. The picture given shows a boy and a girl in the kitchen. I assume it's the kitchen because I see objects like a refrigerator, a toaster, a water heater. Pay close attention to what the people are doing and what they are holding. Read each sentence given. Now read and understand the sentences given. A. Siu Ling and her brother are in the hall. B. There are 2 loaves of bread on the table. C. Abang spread some jam on the bread. D. The girl is holding a cooking pot. Cross out the sentences that do not match the picture. Now let's compare the sentences with the picture and cross out the ones that do not match. A. Siu Ling and her brother are in the hall. But the picture shows that the people are in the kitchen. So the answer could not be A. B. There are 2 loaves of bread on the table. Do you see any bread on the table? Yes, I see them in the toaster. But look closely at the word loaves. We use the word loaf when we want to talk about the whole piece of bread. When the bread is cut up and eaten, we use the word slice. So option B is also not the answer we're looking for. C. Abang spread some jam on the bread. Does this sentence match what the boy is doing in the picture? Yes, he is spreading some jam on a slice of bread. Maybe this is the answer we're looking for. But just to be sure, we have to check option D as well. Always read through all the options before choosing an answer. D. The girl is holding a cooking pot. A cooking pot is a round utensil used to cook food. In the picture, the girl is holding a water heater or a kettle, so D cannot be the answer. So we are left with the answer C. Abang spread some jam on the bread. And this is how we tackle questions number 8 to 10. I hope that you have found those tips useful. Good luck for your revision, and I know you can do it. Till next time, goodbye!
Hi everyone, welcome to my UPSR segment. Today, we'll be looking at how you can do well in your UPSR English Paper 1, Section B. Pay attention to the exam format for the UPSR English Paper 1, Section B, the analysis of possible topics that might appear for Paper 1, Section B, and tips on how to score for Paper 1, Section B. Let's start with the format. Paper 1 comprises 40 multiple-choice questions. The paper is divided into 5 sections. Section A, Vocabulary. Section B, Social Expression. Section C, Grammar. Section D, Text Completion. And finally, Section E, Reading Comprehension. Let's focus on Section B. Section B tests pupils' knowledge on social expressions. This means that you should be able to identify the types of social expressions in daily conversation. For example, to greet someone in the morning, to apologize if you've done something wrong, or to congratulate someone for winning a prize. This section consists of 5 questions and they are worth 5 marks. Now let's analyze the topics that appeared in the past. From this table, we can see that there are various social expressions that have been asked in the UPSR. There are 14 topics ranging from to request to greet. The most popular social expression is to inform. This social expression had appeared 6 times in 2008, 2009, 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2014. The social expression to inquire is also frequently asked. This had appeared 5 times in 2007, 2010, 2011, 2013, and 2000. All appeared 3 times in the UPSR. Not as popular, the social expressions to suggest and to reassure only appeared twice in the UPSR. Finally, to give directions, to refuse politely, to disagree, and to greet only appeared once in the UPSR. So when you do your revision, be sure that you know all the different types of social expressions as shown in the table. Also, pay attention to the ones that appeared the most, as there are chances that they might appear again in the next UPSR. Tips for scoring in Section B. Study the pictures. First, look at the picture given. Pay attention to the little details. For example, question 11 in 2014 shows a situation in a taxi. A taxi driver and a man are talking in the taxi. Understand the speech bubbles. Usually, one speech bubble will be filled and the other speech bubble will be blank. Also, the speech bubble on top means the person is speaking first, while the speech bubble at the bottom is the reply. So if the speech bubble on top is blank, you'll have to read the speech bubble at the bottom and think of a suitable statement or question for the response. Conversely, if the speech bubble at the bottom is blank, then you must read the speech bubble at the top and think of a suitable response for it. For example, let's look at the speech bubbles for question 11. The man sitting at the back is saying, "How long will it take to reach the airport?" Since the speech bubble for the taxi driver is at the bottom, then the taxi driver must be saying something back to the man. Identify the social expression. Like I have mentioned earlier, there are many kinds of social expressions. The sentence, "How long will it take to reach the airport?" tells us that the man is trying to ask for something. So the social expression is to inquire. Choose the best response. Now that you know the man is trying to ask for the estimated time to get to the airport, what should the taxi driver say in response to the man? Remember to choose the best answer out of the choices given. Is it A, "It's quite far"? B, "At 3:30"? C, about 3 hours? Or D, I'll drive you there? Which of these choices answer the man's question? The answer is C, about 3 hours. The other answers do not answer the man's question. Only option C addresses the man's question about time duration. So follow these tips and I'm sure you'll be able to score for section B. Revision. Now let's do some revision for these commonly asked social expressions. To inform. To inform means the other person is telling another person about something. It is usually a general statement or information. For example, question 13 in 2011, a person is holding a kite, while another person is holding some sticks and paper. The second person said, "It's all right, I'm making a new one now." Which is the best statement to inform the other person about the kite? The answer is B, I found your kite. To inquire. To inquire also means to ask questions. We ask questions when we need to find out something. Most questions begin with a question word like what, when, why, who, which, where, and how. Here are some examples. What are you eating for breakfast? When will my package arrive? Why are you sad? Who is that woman sitting there? Questions also begin with auxiliary verbs like is, are, do, does, has, have, and did. Is that your book? Are you coming to the meeting today? Do you know how to get to the library? Does Peter live in Kuala Lumpur? Let's look at some past UPSR questions to practice. Question 12 in 2014. Can you think of the most suitable question for the librarian's response? The librarian said, "You can have it for 2 weeks." So which question best asks for time? The answer is C. When do I have to return this book? Let's try another one. Question 13 in 2014 is also to inquire. The boy who fell down said, "It's bleeding and it hurts." If you look at the picture closely, the boy is talking about his knee. So what should the woman ask the boy? The answer is C. How's your knee? To offer. We usually offer when we ask someone if they would like something or if they would like some help. We do this to show politeness. Commonly, we use these structures. Can I offer you some? May I offer you some? Shall I offer you some? Let me help. Would you like? How about? And so on. In 2008, question 14 tested pupils on this language function. This picture shows a man, a woman, and a child around a bag. The man in the picture says, "Oh, this bag is too heavy." So what should the woman say in order to be polite and helpful? The most suitable and polite response would be A. Let me give you a hand. In 2009, question 12 was also about to offer. The picture here shows a boy crouching in front of a shoe rack and a man standing nearby. The boy says, "I can't find my shoe." If you are that man in the picture, what should you say to offer help? The best answer is C. I'll help you look for them. To request. To request means to ask someone to give you something or to ask someone to do something for you. In English, there are specific ways to ask someone to show that you are polite. Using the modals may, might, and could indicate that the request is polite. For instance, may I have some? Might I have some? Could I have some? If you're requesting someone to do something, you may use the following structures. Can you help me? Do you mind? For example, in 2008, question 12. This picture shows a girl holding a plate while a woman is standing behind a counter. There is a cake on the counter. The woman says, "Sure, help yourself." We can guess from the picture and the speech bubble that the girl wants some more cake. So what would be the most suitable request? Remember, she has to sound polite. The answer is B. I would like another piece. Here's another example. Question 15 in 2010. The picture shows a woman talking to a girl. We can see the woman holding a hose and something long. Maybe a cleaning tool. There's a bucket beside her and a rabbit hutch in the background. The girl says, "Sure, I'd love to." We can guess from this situation that the woman is requesting the girl for help. So which answer best describes the woman asking for help politely? Yes, the answer is D. Please help me clean the hutch. To compliment. We compliment people when we see something nice or when we hear good news. Usually we will say, "That's nice." I love. Wow, what a beautiful. Let's look at question 12 in 2010. The picture shows two girls talking about a flower. The girl holding the flower says, "Yes, they are." So what would be suitable compliment for this picture? The answer is D. These hibiscus are beautiful, aren't they? To agree. We use the following sentences to agree with someone's opinion. Yes, I agree with you. I think you're right. Let's look at question 13 in 2012. This picture shows a girl reading a book and another standing beside a switch. We can also see a lamp in the picture. The girl standing beside the switch says, "Is it better?" So what should the other girl reply to show that she agrees? The answer is A. Yes, it's brighter now. These are just some of the common language functions. When you do your revision, you should do more exercises to help you understand better. That's all there is to score in Paper 1, Section B. Good luck with your revision. Till next time, bye! Welcome to another episode of my UPSR segment. Today we'll be working on UPSR English Paper 1, Section C. By the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you the exam format for the UPSR English Paper 1, Section C, analysis of possible topics that might appear, and tips on how to score. Let's start with the format. Paper 1 comprises 40 multiple choice questions. The paper is divided into 5 sections. Section A, vocabulary. Section B, test social expression. Section C, grammar. Section D, text completion. And finally, Section E, reading comprehension. There are 10 questions in Section C. Section C tests pupils' knowledge in 3 aspects. For questions 16 to 21, sentences with missing words are given. Pupils have to tap into their grammatical knowledge and fill in the blanks with the correct answer. For questions 22 to 23, pupils are supposed to fill in the blanks with the correct spelling. For questions 24 to 25, pupils are supposed to choose the sentence with correct punctuation. This section is worth 10 marks. Analysis of topics. Now, let's analyze the topics that came out in the past UPSR papers. Here's the table for topics that came out in questions 15 to 21. Questions 15 to 20 generally ask these parts of speech: tenses, pronouns, conjunctions, prepositions, adjectives, modals, adverbs, subject-verb agreement, tag questions and responses, and articles. Out of these topics, adverbs are the most commonly asked in the UPSR. Adverbs came out every year except in 2009 and 2010. Subject-verb agreement is also commonly asked. It appeared in 2008, 2009, 2011, 2013, and 2014. Other parts of speech that you should also pay attention to are tenses, conjunctions, prepositions, and adjectives. They came out 4 times in the exam. Meanwhile, question 21 is always either a question on synonyms or antonyms. Let's look at another table. This table shows the topics that appeared for spelling. There were 8 topics that commonly appeared previously: tools, descriptions, transport, objects, insects, people, food, and verb. Out of these topics, description and objects were most commonly asked. They appeared 3 times in the past. Description appeared in 2007, 2012, and 2013. Objects appeared in 2009, 2013, and 2014. The third table shows the analysis for punctuation. Apostrophe, comma, full stop, question mark, capital letters, and the exclamation mark were asked in the UPSR. Among these punctuation forms, commas were the most frequently asked, appearing each year except in 2011. The second most popularly asked punctuation marks are capital letters and the exclamation mark. Capital letters appeared every year from 2009 to 2014. Meanwhile, the exclamation mark appeared in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, and 2014. So for parts of speech, we will be paying extra attention to adverbs and subject-verb agreement. For spelling, we will be focusing on description and objects. Finally, for punctuation, we will be focusing on commas, capital letters, and the exclamation mark. Tips for scoring in Paper 1, Section C. It's very easy to score for this section as long as you follow these tips. Let's start with grammar. Identify key words in the sentence. The sentence usually gives hints. For example, in 2014, question 17, the blouses sold in just a few hours. The key words in this sentence are blouses and sold. The word sold tells us that this happened in the past, so the answer should be in past tense. Also, the plural noun blouses indicates that the verb should be in the plural form. So the answer for this question is D, were. So you must look carefully and identify the key words. Reason out the answers through your understanding of grammar. For example, question number 16 in 2014. Don't stare other people. It is impolite. Do so. The answers given are A, at, to, B, on, in, C, at, on, D, by, to. Let's say you're stuck and you have no idea what the answer is. It's okay. Try to rule out what the wrong answers are first. Staring is an action. It means to look at someone for a long time. We all know that we don't stare on people. On is a preposition of place to show that something is on top. So cross B out. We also know that the preposition by means at the side. We cannot stare by people. So D is also out. We are now left with option A and option C. So we have to read the second sentence. It is impolite to do so. It is impolite undo so. Which one sounds right to you? The second sentence doesn't make any sense, so that means option C is out. The real answer is A, at to. Don't stare at other people. It is impolite to do so. Now here are my tips for antonyms and synonyms. Question 21 is very specific. It will always either be about synonyms or antonyms. So tip number 1, always read the instructions first. Pupils might get careless here. Read the instruction first and find out if the question wants you to find the synonym or the antonym. Remember, synonym means similar meaning. Antonyms means opposite meaning. The instruction says, choose the word that has the opposite meaning as the underlined word. Okay, now let's move on to the next tip. Study the sentence. Read the sentence and understand the context. The innocent man was charged for the crime in court yesterday. If you know the meaning of innocent right away, then you can skip to the tip number 4. However, there are some of you that may be stuck and do not know the meaning of the word at all. Don't worry, the sentence will give you hints. So what do you understand from this sentence? In order to understand this sentence, you have to know the meaning of the words charged, crime, and court. We all know a court is a place for justice where a judge would decide if a person is at fault or not. Crime refers to an act that is against the law. Charged means the act of accusing someone for committing a crime. So this sentence is talking about a man being accused of committing something bad in court. Reason out the wrong answers. Now that you know the context, it's time to reason out the wrong answers. Let's look at A, foolish. Foolish means someone who is silly or not clever. Would a foolish man be charged in court? No, definitely not. So A is not the answer. What about B? Humble. Humble means someone who does not show off. Would a humble person be charged in court? No, of course not. So B is also not the answer. What about C? Guilty. Guilty means someone who has done something wrong. Would a guilty person be charged in court? Yes. That sounds like a logical answer. Let's keep that aside first. Now let's look at D. Correct. Would a correct person be charged in court? No, I don't think so. So by eliminating the answers one by one, you know that C is the most logical answer. Find the closest answer. If you already know the meaning of innocent, good for you. You can make your decision based on your understanding of the word's meaning. Innocent means a person who has done nothing wrong. So the opposite of innocent is guilty. For questions 22 and 23, you have to be good at spelling. Practice, practice, practice. I'm afraid there's no shortcut to this. Make a list of words that have been taught from year 4 to year 6. As I've mentioned in the analysis, words related to objects and descriptions are very popular. So every day, practice your spelling. As for questions testing punctuation, there are several tips that you can follow. Read all the sentences carefully. This is important. They may look similar, but trust me, there are slight differences. Exclamation marks. Exclamation marks always come after an interjection. We use interjections when expressing surprise or anger or admiration. For example, "Oh, you gave me a fright." "Hey, get back here." "Wow, that's wonderful." Capitalization. We capitalize the first letter of the first word in a sentence. We also use capital letters for proper nouns. Specific names of people, places, and brands must be capitalized. For example, Puan Anita, Perak, Sony. Commas. We use commas for a series of 3 items or more. My favorite fruits are bananas, apples, and oranges. We also use commas to separate introductory words or phrases. Today, I went for a jog at the park. On the other hand, I prefer this handbag. That's all the tips I can think of for this section. I hope this information will help you in your preparation for UPSR. Good luck with your revision. Hi everyone, welcome to my UPSR segment. Today, let's work on UPSR English Paper 1, Section D. In this episode, I'll be sharing with you the exam format for English Paper 1, Section D, analysis of possible topics that might appear for Paper 1, Section D, tips on how to score for Paper 1, Section D. Exam format for Paper 1, Section D. Paper 1 comprises 40 multiple-choice questions. The paper is divided into 5 sections. Section A, Vocabulary. Section B, Test Social Expression. Section C, Grammar. Section D, Text Completion. And Section E, Reading Comprehension. Let's focus on Section D. Section D is usually presented in the form of a picture and a short text. The text contains 5 blanks, question 26 to 30. Pupils must answer all the questions. This section tests pupils' ability in applying their grammatical knowledge in context. This section is slightly different from Section C because the text checks whether pupils can read and identify the correct answer to suit the context given. Analysis of topics. Let's analyze the grammar aspects that appeared in the previous UPSR papers. This table summarizes the topics and the year they appeared. As you can see, personal pronouns, nouns, subject-verb agreements, prepositions, tenses, verbs, and adjectives were examined for this section. Out of these grammar items, nouns, prepositions, and verbs were asked every year. This means you have to pay attention to these grammatical items in order to score for this section. Next, subject-verb agreement also appeared a number of times. It had appeared in 2007, 2009, 2011, and 2014. Tenses, adjectives, and personal pronouns appeared the least number of times based on this table. So do focus on these 4 grammatical items when you do your revision for Section D. Nouns, prepositions, verbs, and subject-verb agreements. I will share with you which areas to focus on later. For now, I want to share with you the tips on how to answer Section D. Tips for scoring in Paper 1, Section D. Study the picture. Look at the picture. The picture will tell you what the text is about in brief. For example, Section D in 2014 was about a school singing competition. Let's study every detail in the picture. The picture shows a contestant singing on stage while 3 judges are watching. The backdrop of the stage says, Sekolah Kebangsaan Bukit Perkasa Singing Competition. So we know that this is a school event. There are many people watching the performance. I think I can also see some prizes on stage. There's also a photographer taking pictures of the contestants singing. Try to remember these elements because they are going to help you answer the questions later. Read the text once to get a general idea. It's always important to go through the text once. This is to help you get a general idea and to understand the text better. SK Bukit Perkasa organized a singing competition last week. The stage was beautifully decorated with and ribbons. One of the contestants singing on the stage was busy taking pictures of the event. There was a panel of judges at the table in front of the stage. The trophies for the winners were arranged neatly on the table. Okay, since we know what the text is about, we can start searching for the answers. Identify the tense for the text. Now, can you determine the tenses used in the text? Is it in present, past, or future tense? The answer is the past continuous tense. I know so because of the following reasons. Number 1, this event happened last week. Number 2, the verbs are in the past tense. Was, were, decorated, arranged. Number 3, the verb phrase was busy taking tells us that the text was written in the past continuous tense. Choose the answers carefully. Now let's look at the blanks one by one and choose the correct answer. Number 26. The stage was beautifully decorated with and ribbons. The answers given are A, balloons, B, banners, C, curtains, and D, trophies. So which noun is the best answer based on the picture? The answer is A, balloons. Number 27. One of the contestants singing on the stage. The options given are A, is, B, are, C, was, and D, were. Since we've identified that this text is written in the past continuous tense, the right answer must be in the past tense. So answers A and B are definitely out. The key word here is one, which indicated a singular noun. So the singular verb in the past tense would be C, was. Number 28. A, was busy taking pictures of the event. These are the options given. A, judge, B, singer, C, musician, or D, photographer. This is a straightforward question, and you can see from the picture too. The answer is D, photographer. A person who takes photographs is called a photographer. Number 29. There was a panel of judges at the table in front of the stage. The options given are A, sitting, B, staring, C, looking, and D, standing. The answer for this question is very obvious too, because the judges were sitting down in the picture. So the answer is definitely A, sitting. Number 30. The trophies for the winners were arranged neatly on the table. The choices given are A, in, B, on, C, into, and D, onto. This is a question that tests pupils' knowledge on prepositions. From the picture, we can tell that the answer is B, on, because the prizes are placed on the surface of the table. This is how you answer section D. Remember these rules and do plenty of exercises on subject-verb agreement. I'm sure you'll master the rules in no time. I hope this video has been useful to you. Good luck with your revision and I wish you all the best. Till next time, bye! Hi everyone, welcome to my UPSR segment. Today, let's work on UPSR English Paper 1, Section D. Revision. Let's do some quick revision on 4 grammar items: nouns, prepositions, verbs, and subject-verb agreements. Number 1, nouns. There are a few areas that I think pupils should revise for nouns. The first is to know the difference between common nouns and proper nouns. Common nouns are general names of people, places, and things like man, woman, school, and pencil. Common nouns do not begin with capital letters unless they begin sentences. Meanwhile, proper nouns are specific names of people, places, and things. A proper noun always begins with a capital letter in a sentence. For example, Adam, Sophia, Sekolah Kebangsaan Sri Melati, and Jalan Melua are all proper nouns. It is crucial that you expand your knowledge of common nouns because you have to identify the answers based on the picture given. So if you don't know what certain common nouns of people, subjects, and places are in English, you may have trouble finding the right answer. So make a list of common nouns based on categories like occupation, animals, places, household items, etc. Number 2, prepositions. A preposition is a word that is used to show location, direction, movement, and time. Preposition of place is used to describe where something is. Examples of prepositions of place are on, under, above, between, beside, next to, against, among, in, and near. Preposition of time is used to tell us when something has happened. Examples are during, for, since, on, at, and in. Preposition of movement is used to describe change in location of an object or the direction of something moving. For instance, up, down, through, over, along, from, to, into, onto, off, past, across, and around. Number 3, verbs. When revising for verbs, make a list of verbs in similar categories such as movement, senses, daily activities, etc. For example, here is a list of action verbs for movement. Action verbs for movement: jump, crawl, kick, pull, dig, run, bend, gallop, hop, walk, shake, and twirl. Make sure you know what these words mean. You can find out by using a dictionary. If you are advanced, you can group words into more specific categories like action verbs for looking. Action verbs for looking: gaze, stare, wink, gape, gawk, observe, ogle, and blink. Number 4, subject-verb agreement. The subject of a sentence must agree in person and number with the verb. Let's study this table. On the left column, I, you, he, she, it, Ali, and the rabbit are considered as singular subjects. Meanwhile, on the right, we, you, they, Ali, and Abu, and the rabbits are considered as plural subjects. This table, on the other hand, shows a list of singular and plural verbs. For singular subjects, use singular verbs. For example, I am a good boy. He is drinking some water. The rabbit was eating a carrot. Ali eats a sandwich for breakfast every morning. Words like everyone, each, everything, every, someone, anyone, anybody, no one, nothing, nobody also take singular verbs. Everyone has to complete their homework by Monday. Is anyone there? For plural subjects, plural verbs must be used. You are making a mess. They were camping in the jungle when the landslide happened. You have to queue up at the counter. Ali and Abu buy presents for each other every year. The rabbits live in a hutch. Remember these rules and do plenty of exercises on subject-verb agreement. I'm sure you'll master the rules in no time. I hope this video has been useful to you. Good luck with your revision and I wish you all the best. Till next time, bye!